Hey, I'm Matt from Matt Lane Fitness. Welcome to another episode of Matt's Mental Fitness. If you're new to this series, basically I talk anything and everything mental fitness, and I've just been on a tear lately of me going to my therapist, talking numerous things out that I sort of deal with in my head. I've had incredible feedback from you, so thank you. I truly appreciate you for that. And it's actually been a handful of weeks since I've posted another one, but this is the next one, so I appreciate you being here. I want to start by saying thank you. It's sort of like the biggest takeaway from this session was really that I've realized I'm waiting on the other shoe to drop, and I'm trying to rack my brain and even remember, did I talk about this in the previous episode or not? Regardless if I talked about it or not, it's still in my head. And I guess it plays a little bit more into my everyday life than I realize. But if you're new to this channel, there's been, recent growth that I'm very fortunate and grateful for. And, Holden has benefited as well because we've been collaborating a lot. And there's been a lot of lessons that I've learned because of it. But one of the big lessons is, he has said it, and so have I, of like, how long is this going to go on? Because at the time of recording this, it is June 11th, and our sort of wave that we've been riding, that we call it, it's been happening for 6 months now. And I don't know, he and I both are just sort of like, when's the other shoe going to drop? And I know that is the wrong mentality to have for me. Holdy, do whatever you want, bro. But for me, I know that's the wrong mentality. In the previous episodes, I had talked about confidence. That's the reason that I actually started going to this therapist, who is fantastic, by the way. I've improved my confidence, without a doubt. I look at this, I'm waiting on the other shoe thing to drop, as very similar to the confidence piece of I'm not worthy type of thing. And that's dead wrong. Because I've known since I started all this in 2017, when no one was watching, I believed in what I was saying, and I knew that I had value to give. So now that people are watching, of course it's validating, and I appreciate it. But if people left tomorrow, if I went to zero, I would still believe in the things that I'm saying. So that right there, I have to realize that if I have value to give, and I have an audience of, as of right now, 8,400 people, I essentially have the attention that I've been seeking for so long. Unless I did something egregious to make everyone leave, like, you're quote unquote there, Matt. You have to sort of convince your brain that, you are there. I don't believe that I'll ever be quote unquote there. There's never a destination. There's always, an opportunity to get better. That's the whole thing behind better than yesterday, every day. But essentially I have found the tip of the iceberg, that I like to call it. I haven't made it, but there's this tip of the iceberg that I've found. So I have to consciously adopt that. And, what are the action points for me moving forward? How do you improve that feeling of waiting for the other shoe to drop? How do you fix that, of no longer thinking like that? And I think that it's the same thing as confidence of, if you down yourself out loud or internally, you have to consciously stop that by saying the opposite of that. So for me, if it's just a random Tuesday and I'm like, man, I can't believe this is happening. When's the other shoe going to drop with this audience? When are they going to leave, or when are they going to stop caring? I have to consciously realize and say aloud, or in my head, I'm going to say it out loud, that you have value to give, and people are finally here to see that. So if you continue to add value, why would they leave? Just consciously making that effort to change that conversation in my head. I hope that made sense. So there's also this financial piece of waiting for the other shoe to drop because of the excess views, because of the excess traffic. Of course, this channel is monetized, and there has brought some financial reward. And I cannot help but think, just like of the audience leaving, I think, well, when is that whole financial piece going to stop? But that's directly tied into the value. And that as long as the value's coming, the money should come. that is such a sensitive topic for me, the whole money piece. And it wasn't very long ago in this series that I established that I was going to start monetizing things. It felt dirty, it felt wrong, but it's allowed me more time to create more, to give more, to do more. And I'm very fortunate, I'm very grateful, and I'm very proud. Being as transparent as I possibly can, I'm very proud of myself that I haven't mastered it, but I've gotten much, much better. There was a time when I was not asking. I believe in the concept of give, ask. Gary Vaynerchuk is fantastic at teaching that, and give, ask. And ask, not give, expect. And so I'm proud that I've adopted that. Another thing that I've done since starting this business and this whole thing that I'm doing is that I have constantly thought 19 steps ahead. And 19 steps ahead sucks. I love sort of being prepared or figuring out the next move. But when you haven't even completed the first move, what the hell does step 19 serve you? I have been so incredibly effectively busy with content creation and client work and creating programs and all the things that I'm doing that I have not had time to think 19 steps ahead. I have just wanted to respond to people and to interact with people, and you've probably noticed in our content that we're including comments that have been left on videos in the next video, because I want to highlight you, the people that are here watching. And I say that to say that I know I'm not the only one that tries to think 19 steps ahead, but take it from someone that is living through the progression of that piece of not accounting for 19 steps ahead. I'm simply working on right now because I have zero time to think about 19 steps ahead. But here's the cool thing. When you work on the steps, when you effectively work on the steps that are right here and now, that gets you to step 19. That's beautiful. Just being better right now, trying to do this one thing, gets you to step 19. I friggin' love it. I friggin' love it. We hear that all the time, like, I want to live in the right now. I got no time for anything else, and it's quite beautiful. It's made me really appreciate the content that I'm creating. It's made me appreciate the human interactions that I've had through all the social media platforms with my clients. It's made me so much more aware of right now, because yesterday doesn't matter, tomorrow doesn't matter. It's right now getting the task done. So it's been very nice to not be able to overthink, to not have that time to overthink. I wanted to just give a shout out to the one person that supports me absolutely blind, no matter how crazy it sounds. Jenna, I love you with every bit of me. God, you bring me so much happiness, and without your support, I would not be where I'm at, and thank you. I love that woman so damn much. Lastly, I want to close with knowing what my new normal is a good question. I don't know what the new normal is. I don't know what the growth is going to look like next month. I don't know what the financial standpoint is going to look like next month. And that's okay. That's okay, because I know that I can adapt next month if it's lower. I know I can just be rejoiced if it's higher. As long as I'm working and doing the things that I know are correct, that's all that matters. And I said it in the beginning, I'll say it again. I did this when no one was watching. I will continue to do it if no one watches. And I think that's why it works, because it's true. It's transparent. It's me. And I love the hell out of this. I said lastly, but this is the last thing, I promise. My amount of balance lately has been just awful. I've been pouring, every bit of time into content creation, client work. Everything else has gone pretty much by the wayside. I do what I can to sort of manage my own health and all that. But honestly, the happiness makes up for the pieces that I'm sort of neglecting. But there's even things that I've put on the back burner that really don't matter that much to you, like certain programs I'm working on that I know that those have to go on the back burner, and that's okay, because right now, one of the things that I'm trying to do, one of the things that makes me the happiest is working, and I'm leaning into it. So I think that's it. Okay. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. If you want to support this YouTube channel, if you want to support our podcast channel, you can do so by becoming a patron. I'll put a link in the description below. If you're feeling squirrely and you want to, awesome. If not, it's all good. You don't have to be perfect at this. Just working on now. Just try to be better than yesterday. Every day. I love you.
What?
I love you.
I love you. I thought I said that.
You did.